Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm super good. Let's see here. Cool. So, it's one of your or the VODs that you had. Looks like they got erased, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Um, that's okay. There's a lot of other stuff that we can do. I'm reading through your notes that you sent me. Your first one says, make my learning process more efficient, possibly some type of flowcharty routine if applicable. Um, yeah, let's talk about that first. But actually, before we get into that, I kind of want to know what is your Smash background? Like, how long have you been playing competitively? And how did you get
Yeah.
into the scene?
So I started playing Smash around 2015. I played Melee. Um, I I still play Melee, but a little more not really my focus. Mostly I'm focusing on Diddy Kong and Ultimate.
Uh huh.
I played Smash 4 for a couple of years. In that I played Sheik. And about 2 months ago I started playing Diddy Kong.
Oh, sick.
Uh, yeah, before that, I hopped around a ton of different characters in Ultimate because for a while, I was struggling to find a character I really liked a lot, but I love Diddy Kong, so.
Good. How'd you find Diddy?
Um, I honestly think I was just playing him in friendlies, and I was like, this is kind of fun. And then I liked messing with Banana, so I kept playing him more and then, like, learning more stuff, primarily through the Discord, which I found like your advanced Diddy guides and stuff, and I watched those.
Good, good. Well, cool. Well, that's awesome. Who'd you play in Melee?
In Melee, I mostly played Falco, but
Hey,
I
nice.
some supports.
I played Falco in Melee too.
Yeah, yeah, and I've watched you play PM before,
Oh,
because in PM I liked playing Game and Watch.
what? Okay, all right. So we got a lot of character similarities. That's awesome. Sweet. So tell me about. Do you attend tournaments regularly?
Um, Post COVID, I've attended maybe one every 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's about how often I can. I'm starting to make it so it's about one a week. I just I work third shift, so it's often hard for me to hit a
Oof.
tournament and then also be able to go to work.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. Yeah, I go to about one event per week as well. So I totally understand that. Let's see. Cool. And when you go to events, how just kind of without seeing your play, where would you say you are like in relation? What region are you in?
I'm in Wisconsin.
You're in Wisconsin. So how close would you say you are? Like, are you like within like the top 50 players in Wisconsin? Top 10?
No.
Okay, okay.
I would say I'm not the bottom 20%, but like right above that.
Dude, that's awesome. That means you can progress really fast and learn a ton. That's like honestly one of the coolest places to be from like a learning standpoint because you're gonna find yourself like figuring things out and improving really fast. So that's really cool. So let's talk about that whole learning process in general. Um, One of the first things that you need to take heart is first of all, you're talking about your Discord, right, and how you take notes?
Yeah, do you want to see it?
Yeah, go ahead and share. Let's see.
Here. Oh, do you just want me to screen share, or I can send you an invite link?
Yeah, send me an
Might be
invite.
easier so that you can. Yeah.
Mind like the wind. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Oh, you got a lot of things here.
Yeah, up in the stealth category, I made a Dakpo channel.
Nice. Let's go Dakbo. Um, Books you're reading. You're gonna reread the Inner Game of Tennis. That's really awesome. So you've read through it before?
Yeah, I love that book. I've already finished rereading it. I'm reading Atomic Habits. Um, I put a pause on Thinking Fast and Slow, but that's also a good book. I love things just about the mind. Like I love reading about that.
That's really cool to see. I absolutely like 100% endorse the inner game of tennis. It really changed a lot for me, and um, usually one of the first few things that I talk about when I'm coaching mentality and mindset. Let's see. So habits, book reading, cool. Training regimen. In conclusion, banana. That's funny. Google Docs and that stuff. Oh, I love how organized this is. To-do list, my VODs, mentality advice, punishing habits. Oh, yes. This is great. You have so many resources already set up. Violet. Ooh, melee Marth stuff too. Okay. Cool. No, I really, really love the way your Discord is set up. I would go ahead and on the matchups, I would go ahead and make 2 matchup channels and then make sure you have every character already listed. Because you never know if you go to a local and you just sit down and you play a character. You never know that you just need to enter in a note real quick or check to see if you have anything.
Yeah.
I kind of want to look at some of your notes and see what kind of notes you're leaving. I love that. I'm looking at your Byleth right now.
Yeah, a lot of them are blank because initially what I did is I just thought of the most common matchups that I would have to deal with in my state, and that's what basically this list is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Train to beat your local region first. I absolutely agree with that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you going to say?
No, you're good. Let's see. There was the Rob channel. That one has some stuff. The Yoshi one has some stuff.
Yeah, funny enough, these look exactly like the type of notes I take. Are you active on Twitter?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty active.
So one thing that I do is anytime someone tweets out something about, anti this character or counterplay, I make sure to save those tweets as well. I don't know if you're doing that or not.
Yeah, they're just in my bookmarks though.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead and put them in here. You want all your resources right there. So like when you're sitting down to play a snake, you've got all the anti-snake stuff up here, all your reminders.
That's true.
Ooh, yeah, I like those. Yeah.
Yeah, and then actually under player study is Rico. He plays brawler, and I put some probably some of my more organized notes are in there. Just like general stuff about like brawler.
Oh, you have a me brawler in your region then, huh?
Yeah, there's probably 2, I think. Yeah, there's 2. And he's definitely the best one. He's probably like top 20 in the state.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, he plays the heli kick version.
Yeah, heli kick, feint jump, and shot put. Oh yeah, and the side B is the one that does like 20% and never kills the grab.
Oh yeah. Oof. I do not have much experience against me brawler. I would love to get more of that too.
That's fair. If we do talk about matchups, yeah, I'm primarily looking into Rob and Snake right now.
Oh, great. I'm very, very, very familiar with those matchups. Like, extremely.
Not only are they common here, but I've also just been struggling with them more than I would say the average matchup.
Perfect. I definitely, I want to circle around and dedicate some time to those matchups specifically. In fact, I have a very recent video of me playing against Snake, and it's pretty much like a tutorial on how to punish the average Snake, and how to get around most of the stuff. We might check that out too. Cool.
Sure.
I love your Discord. I think your Discord is probably the best like notes Discord I've seen. Just make sure you fill out all the matchups and make sure you're posting every resource you find from Twitter and other Discords, posting them in there if you're not already. I love that you had like a stage list of their best and worst stuff. You should try to do that with as many characters as you can. One of the most important things that I find is like just adding which stages to strike first, and kind of like making a tier list of like, okay, against Donkey Kong, like first thing to go is going to be Smashville, second thing is PS2, and third thing is like Lilat and Small Battlefield.
Lately, when I'm looking into matchups, I've been spending less time thinking about the stages and more time just using what I put in my stage information channel. I pinged you and it's fine. But it's pretty much what you said in one of your videos. And then I really like SBF and Smashville the most. I love those stages.
Yeah, small Battlefield's growing on me. It's taking a long time, but it's slowly growing on me. Cool. So this is really, really impressive stuff. Keep this up. This is one of the best ways to learn, because one of the hardest things at any skill level is going to be retaining all this information, because Smash, at its core, is just the memorization of as many situations as possible.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do that all, but it helps when you write it down, not only because you're writing it and you're committing it that way, but you can review it and remember it. So keep that up.
Yeah.
That's really good stuff.
That's why I put this together, is because I generally have trouble remembering stuff, but this has been helping a lot.
Let's see. So let's talk about how you practice and how you actually go into the game. What I want you to do is at least walk away from this lesson with 3 goals in mind. And when you sit down for friendlies, and I want to ask you very honestly, when you sit down and play friendlies, do you have a very specific goal in mind that you're trying to improve upon when you're playing, or are you just playing friendlies?
Not every time, but I do. I would say about 70% of the time I have a goal. Lately, what I've been working on is categorizing what people do after I throw a banana at their shield, specifically, because people are shielding it a lot. And I've been trying to, like, basically flowchart the after they shield banana, but, like, what I can still do to, like, punish that.
Okay. Here's an interesting thought for that specific scenario. So, yes, it is extremely important for you to pick up on what an opponent does in reaction to what you do. However, that is a scenario that can kind of be helpful, but it really shouldn't be happening in the first place. Throwing banana at somebody's shield is like, it means you messed up. It means you threw banana at the wrong time. So I worry that you setting that as one of your goals is encouraging you to chunk a banana at somebody's shield.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because it's usually like I throw it. Sometimes I do throw it unprompted in neutral, like they haven't committed to an option, so they are able to shield. It's not like I see a shield and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, usually honestly, if somebody's sitting in shield for more than like half a second, I want to side B from a spot where I'll be able to edge cancel if they jump or air dodge.
Okay.
Or spot dodge, not air dodge.
Cool. So how about well, I guess I'll circle back to that. I kind of want to change that specific goal, but the idea of observing what they do, I would say if you want to watch how someone is reacting to something, I would really say down tilt is your move, because you'll run in and you'll down tilt shields all the time, and how they react to down tilt's really, really important too.
Yeah, I've already done that for a while. I wouldn't say I've like perfected it, but I have dedicated time to that, and I've just been trying to make my use of situations that involve banana more flow charted, because sometimes I'll throw banana and then I'll just like run in after, like how I used to do with Falco with Lacer. Just isn't a good thing.
Cool. So how about this? So one of our first goals that we should definitely set is anytime you play a friendly match, whether it be, do you play Wi-Fi?
Not really, but I want to give more time to it because I locally there aren't really any players in my city.
Okay.
So I definitely should be playing online more.
Okay. Well, let's set a goal then. When you're not playing in tournament, when you're playing strictly to get better in a learning environment like friendlies or money matches or on Wi-Fi or anything like that, I want you to change your 70% to 100%. And there's a few ways that we can do this. And when I say that, I mean specifically you're playing to learn one specific thing. Because you'll always be learning multiple things when you play, but it's so important to just narrow down to implementing one thing at a time and assimilating it slowly. So, what are some ways that you currently know on how to help you focus on one particular thing when you sit down and play?
Actually, I've kind of thought about this, but I've always had an issue working through it because I am worried that if I only focus on one thing, I will accidentally like make that all into like muscle memory, and then my game plan just over centralizes on whatever I've been working on most recently.
Yeah, that might be a particular side effect on choosing the wrong things to work on too.
Okay.
So what do you do to help focus on what you're trying to learn when you play a match?
In between every game, I look at like my phone. Usually I have like a couple small notes of like what I want to do in the moment, and I try to check that in between every game if I remember.
I love that. It's really close to one of the things I'm actually going to suggest. Is there anything else that you do?
No, that's pretty much it.
Cool. I have two suggestions for you then. One, once we pick out something for you to really focus in on, I want you to do an easy thing. One is change your tag. I don't mean like change your tag, don't go by Starlit anymore. Just like your in-game tag, whatever you're focusing on. If it's like, say we focus on really choosing careful times to throw a banana, and we set your goal to only throw a banana in response to your opponent throwing out a move, then maybe change your in-game tag to hold banana or hold ban or hold B or HB. Maybe HB.
Someone actually suggested that recently, and I thought it was a good idea, but I didn't actually implement it.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start doing that once we set your goal. The other thing, which is the more extreme option, but it produces faster results, is change your phone background. Change whatever your lock screen is or whatever. Just change it to whatever is going to help you think about it. You do this because everyone stares at their phone a ton. What kind of phone do you have?
I have an iPhone.
You have an iPhone? Yeah. Change your lock screen. The nice hold banana. Something that reminds you of holding banana. Anything. Literally a monkey holding a banana. Whatever you want it to be.
Just anything that like prompts it in your head more like often to make it easier to stay focused, I think.
Yep. And the third and the last thing is you should be saving any VODs you can, recording any way that you can. I would probably say the second best way for you to currently learn the game is for you to record and study your own matches. So, do you have a way to save your matches or record your matches?
I have a capture card. also, I don't really take my setup to tournaments, but if I do, I could try to get my match on my own setup, and then I can save the replay.
Yeah,
I've
100% try.
considered like asking friends to like record with a phone my set, and then like I've literally contemplated being like, yeah, I'll give you like a couple dollars to like record this because like otherwise I'm not gonna get a VOD of it.
Man, this is a really interesting lesson because it sounds like you've thought about all of these things so much, but you just haven't committed to doing them.
I think about a lot of things, but I'm never sure if like I like really need that extra step. But I guess I should just do it.
It honestly, it just depends on how serious you are about the game. The fact that you're in a lesson with me right now tells me that you want to get better, you want to improve, and you want to see that journey take place. And I want you to do that too. And one of the first things is that capture card you have. Can it work without a computer?
Not that I know of, but I guess I should look into that. I have no idea.
Yeah, just double check to see if you can. One of the capture cards that I use actually, it doesn't need a computer. I can hook it up between the Switch and the monitor, and it just records whatever going through there, so I can check out any of my VODs. That might not be a possibility for you. You might not have a capture card that does that. But taking your Switch and just playing sets on it, dude, it doesn't even have to be tournament sets. They can just literally be friendlies after the tournament or before the tournament. Just record your matches as many as you can, because that's going to be the third step. Is 1, you're setting your tag. 2, you're putting it on your phone. And 3, you're going to review your VODs, and then you're going to see, am I doing exactly what I set out to do? And that's going to be a big part, because once you've implemented what you're trying, you just move on to the next thing, and you keep on going, and you'll assimilate until you reach the next level. So that is, to answer your first question in a very, very lengthy way, what your learning process should be. Is 1 step at a time, extremely hard focused in, and then rinse and repeat. Once you've learned one skill, you go to the next thing. And they can be small things. They can be, for you, I'll be very honest, for your skill level, just about everything you need to learn should be about fundamentals. It shouldn't be about, this crazy punish, or Tweak's doing this crazy tech off the ledge, or anything like that. You will be wasting so much time if you do not hone your fundamentals, whether it be focusing on stage control, whether it be focusing on how to trap someone before they're landing, or make them waste all their resources, or how to force them to take certain recovery patterns, or how to not do something out of disadvantage. And any of these fundamentals are going to benefit you 4 billion times more than any fancy tech that I'm doing or Tweak is doing or anything like that.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, the only super technical thing I really have spent a lot of time working on is the like banana throw dare barrels at 0, because it works on like everybody, and that's the only reason.
Yep. No, that's really, really awesome too.
Otherwise, I would say that's been less than 5% of my focus. Like, I've been working on so many other things.
And that's good, and that's cool too. Like just spending time in the training room and just working on those is fine. Cool. We're on the same page about that. That's good. Mindset pitfalls to avoid that can make improving harder. Oh man, there's so many. I'll tell you some of the common ones that I encounter, and then I'll tell you some specific ones that Diddy has. So some mindset pitfalls that a lot of people have is looking at their results emotionally rather than objectively. And this is talked about a lot in the inner game of tennis, when you view events that happen as good or bad events. Like, I went 0-2 at the tournament. That was bad. That's the first pitfall. Don't look at it as a bad result. It is just a result. And the only thing to take away from it is what happened to cause this result, what happens to prevent this type of result in the future. And that's it. It's not a good result. It's not a bad result. It doesn't matter if you win the tournament, lose the tournament, whatever. First of all, is just assigning values of good and bad to anything, whether it's a game, a tournament, whatever. That's the first one. The second one is this really, really obscure perception of getting good versus getting worse. And I mean that in the sense of a lot of people will go into tournaments and then they'll beat someone for the first time and then they'll lose the next time. And they'll be like, oh, God, I can't believe, I'm getting worse. I lost to this guy. But one of the important things is everybody's working hard to get better at this game. Everybody's putting in the time. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are putting the time. A lot of people have an established base skill. So, if you're improving and you're improving, but your results don't change immediately, don't get discouraged because everybody's improving. Not everybody's stagnant. So just know that you will improve and sometimes your results won't change very much, but that's part of the process and you just got to keep going. Do you have any questions about those first two?
No. Honestly, the only thing that I thought about in regards to the mindset pitfalls thing is that it was too generic of a question, and I think we should just move past it, honestly.
Okay.
Because I have thought about basically everything that you've said regarding that, so I was like, yeah, that was probably too vague of a question.
Okay, that's perfectly fine with me. Dealing with anxious thoughts during a set, how to avoid care about losing without losing the drive to win. Say that again?
I said I'm really bad about this one in particular, actually.
Well, I've got some good news. I've dealt with a lot of tournament anxiety and how to overcome it. The number one way to get over it's probably not an answer that many people like to hear, but
is do it more.
Yeah, you got it. You have to do it so much that it is just a normal thing. Do you drive?
Yeah.
Do you get nervous when driving?
Not at all.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, when we
used to those.
Yeah, I know. You first we learned to drive. We jump into this metal death machine where we could just literally kill a whole family if we mess up. But then years later, you're just I'm just going to Walmart, man. It's not that big of a deal. Just got to go get some stuff. You know what you need to do. And it's the same thing with tournaments and anxiety. You just got to go to as many as possible, and eventually they just become a normal thing to do. When I go to a tournament, I rarely get nervous just because I'm I've done this hundreds of times. This is just another event. And at the end of the day, I'm not in any physical danger. It doesn't matter if I lose. I'm just going to go home. It's fine. That's the first part of dealing with anxiety. The second part about how to avoid caring about losing without losing the drive to win. This one's tough. This one will take, a lot of time to implement. But once you overcome this, it's one of the most, I don't know how to describe it. It's feeling of freedom. You should never play to not lose. You're always playing to win. And it's really hard to do that in bracket because there's all sorts of thoughts in your head oh, what are people going to think if I lose to this guy? Or, do they, they're going to think I'm a bad player. Just all sorts of terrible thoughts. And that happens to everybody. Everybody. I guarantee you it happens to everybody. The first thing and the most important thing to avoid this is obviously you got to stay focused. You have to focus on what's important. At the end of a game, if you start having any thoughts of what are people going to say or what are people going to think about me, that should be your catalyst to go, what did I learn from that game? Did I achieve my goal going into that game? That's how you turn judgment and criticism, kind of just like what we were talking about before looking at things of a good or a bad result. It's how to take that and start focusing on to what actually happened, what objectively happened on that. Did I perform what I set out to? Were my goals achieved? And you start moving your toxic thoughts into your focused objective thoughts, and you practice that and you keep doing it over and over and over again, eventually you're just going to start skipping the toxic thoughts and you're going to get obliterated by something. And instead of going, oh man, I'm so trash, you're going to go, why did I get obliterated by that? How did that happen? It's because I jumped here for the third time. He's picking up on it. And then you stay focused, and you're just going to be focused on exactly what you need to do. That's my advice for that. Do you have any questions about that?
That's pretty helpful. Yeah, I think more specifically, the avoid caring about losing most commonly happens to me actually like when I'm like high percent last stock, and then I feel like I just start playing different, and I guess I'm like trying to. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too late. Like I'm like, oh, I'm about to lose. Now it's time to start playing different instead of like as soon as I like lose the interaction and then think about that interaction.
Well, you can do the cool thing is you can do that before. You can do that. You can think about what happened afterwards, but you can also focus on your goal before it happens too. That's one of the big takeaways from the inner game of tennis is how to get into the zone is you have a focus point where, say one of the first things I always work with on people that are developing fundamentals is stage control, and say that you set that as your goal. At those high percent, high damage situations, you get nervous and you start freaking out a little bit. But if you set your tag correctly and you can see it, maybe you have any type of reminder that goes, oh yeah, I'm focusing on stage control. That's the only thing that matters right now. I need to stick to my game plan. And then you can play it out like that too. Cool. Are we good on that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Best way to identify opponents' goals so I can make better judgment on how they want to play the game. This is a tough conversation. This is something I've talked about before. So one of the most important parts of playing this game at a high level is understanding the skill level of your opponent. And once you fully understand the skill level of your opponent, you can assess what their goals are. You can assess what kind of things that they'll fall for, what things they can't react to, how fast they're going to adapt. So I put players in categories each time I play them. There is one very, very important part about this is that you cannot assess somebody's skill level that is better than you. So right now, with where I'm understanding where your current skill level is, I would not focus on any really detailed things about what your opponent's doing, unless it's obvious. Like, oh, DK wants to grab me at 60% on Smashville. Like, yes. That's like the most fundamental thing. But to understand a much deeper level, I want you to focus on yourself first, then your opponent. There'd be too many things to try to start thinking about during a match. Of course, you can think about it after a game and maybe in some VOD analysis, but like in game, don't worry about that yet. It will come. And it is absolutely a necessary skill to perform at top level, but not right now. Let's see. And then let's talk about Robin Snake. Tell me about what you struggle with when you're fighting against Snake. We'll start with Snake.
Okay. I would say most commonly I am finding myself using monkey flip kick too much and trying to land on Snake with Nair, and then I just get hit by grenades. That happens a lot.
Yep.
So I was thinking about as an alternative is just like spacing bears on the front half of him so I'm not like hitting a grenade. But then I'm like considering if I get called out, I'm just gonna get like dash attacked. And where I feel like when I'm using Nair, it usually catches dash attack. if they're coming in like that.
Do you mind if I post my snake notes into your snake notes?
That's fine.
I have a few.
Did you say you like had a video where you looked at either Snake or Rob recently?
Your message is too long. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on.
You just uploaded to Pastebin.
Okay, it's all in there. Sweet. You can go over that in your own time. But let's go ahead and let's watch. Let's check out a video. Are you looking at the stream right now?
No. I
Okay.
pull it up though.
That's okay. I can just if you can actually pull up the stream so we can look at it together, that'd make things really easy.
I have it up.
So, we are talking about mainly how to navigate around grenades. I'll tell you right now that if Snake has a grenade in hand, the only thing you want to do is either move around him or you want to side B him. Side B is the only reason that this matchup is even doable. I think it's like maybe slight Snake favor, but it's just really, really important. Just do not hit his shield when he has a grenade. It's not even worth it. Not even if it's a safe move. You're not going to even get anything out of it. They're so good at just holding shield. The other thing that I'm going to point out is snakes, when you pull out a grenade and you have a banana, or when you have a banana, when you pull out a banana, a lot of the times they'll try to like retreat onto these platforms, and that's the time that you're going to side B them the most. So we'll play this. One thing I don't like specifically being on PS2 versus Snake, I don't like up tilt killing me super early. It's a big problem. So AC here, are you familiar with the player AC?
Yeah.
Yeah, so AC is a pretty solid snake, no pun intended. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Is anytime you can force a grenade, there's pretty much stuck there. Like, think about it like this. If he avoided this side B somehow, maybe he spot dodged, he can't do anything. Like, he has a grenade in his hand. He has to, like, avoid the attack and then throw a grenade, which probably isn't cooked at the right time, and then try to like go in for a punish. So these side Bs are like super good. This one happened to just detonate the grenade, but that's fine. We can just go on with it. I didn't mean the pummel there. Yeah, anytime Snake's trying to land too, you want to grab him. If any snake tries to recover low, you go ham. That is your opportunity. Can you see my mouse or my cursor?
Yeah, I can see your cursor.
Yeah, if they try to recover in any type of range over here, like here, you're going down, you're applying pressure. What you want to do is you want to try to force them to air dodge to the ledge, because that's what they're trying to do, and you just jump back with them and down air here. But if they're like really far out here and they're going low and using their cipher, you're always going to go off stage. You can't afford not to. You literally can't.
Yeah.
One thing is really cool about this matchup is you can play really, really like evasive. Like, you do not have to go in really hard. So here, he recovers. I don't know why he decided to recover low. That was such a bad choice, but I was there for it. Also, snakes will dash attack anything on the ground. Like this, I'm defending against dash attack. I don't think I've even seen this set. I assume he's going to dash attack. Oh, no, he grabbed me. That was good. Oh, yeah. We also are surprisingly good against Nikita. We can just... This is... Don't ever side B to recover versus Snake. Just use your up B. Because you can either go to ledge here, Or if he's going to try to Nikita you, yeah, you can just go blow him up for it. I do this all the time. Oh, yeah, I remember that. This was nice. And then for some reason, he recovers slow. That's bad. I'll show you some super secret tech, too. So, are you familiar with Snake's kill confirms? Off a grab, specifically.
I know, like, down throw, up tilt, and that's it.
What percent is that?
It varies by character, but I would assume for Diddy, it's like 110.
Nope. Down throw, up tilt is guaranteed on Diddy at 160.
Oh, wow, that's high.
It is. Also, Snake can do down throw, forward tilt. This works, I think it starts working at like 130-ish something. And it will kill, especially if he gets you near the side. There is a very, very, very weird secret about down throw, forward tilt, though. For some reason, against Diddy Kong, it does not work facing the left. There's something weird about Diddy Kong's laying animation where you can afford to get grabbed by facing the left. You just have to hold away, and you'll just fall out of his forward tilt. And then you can get a really big punish if he goes for it. I think it's in this set, but AC did not know about it. And I guarantee you any Snake that you play, especially in a region that doesn't grind against Diddy, has no idea about this huge, because they'll go for it. They'll do everything to set up for their kill confirm, because that's what they need. And they'll go for that grab. And if it happens and you're facing, stay on the left side if you possibly can, then it won't work. Very weird thing. When it comes to hitting Snake too, there's two schools of thought. One school of thought is you have to hit his toes. And the way that I did it right here is that like I literally threw out the fair hitbox and he like had to fall into it to not set off that grenade. You can't throw out any of the moves like touching his feet. He has to fall into the hitbox. The other way you can do it is you can attack his head. If you can attack his head, his grenade is like right by his hip, so it won't go off. Really hard to space it though. It just takes a lot of experience and like careful planning. In fact, most of the time when Snake's trying to land, I think a lot of the time it's more worth to try to grab him when he lands. Oh yeah. Have you seen what happens when we monkey flip and he's got a grenade in his hand?
Like when we grab him?
Yeah.
If we pummel it, detonates it, doesn't it?
Actually, it usually.
If you do the attack, but if you jump, it'll. If you jump at certain times, like it'll blow up just on the ground when he's like stuck in the footstool animation.
Yeah, so you're mostly right. So actually, the side B doesn't detonate it. I mean, obviously, if the timer goes off, it detonates. But just like sitting on top of him. Doesn't detonate the grenade. So if you side B him and you know the grenade needs a little bit longer, you can wait just a second and then you can jump off and do that too.
Yeah, because I did actually use side B jump against Snake.
Good. That was an example of a bad forward air. I should have thrown it out way sooner, but I hit him right here, right in his chest, and I got blown up for it. It's okay though. That was not okay. Yep, there it is again. They try the Nikita, which they will. You just blow them up for it.
That's so funny.
Now here's one of the most important parts about trapping Snake's landings, which this entire matchup comes down to how hard can you punish Snake when you get him in disadvantage. That's all it is. I hit him away. I have to do everything in my power to make sure he does not get behind me. And I miss. And I totally let him get behind me. I think that might have been bad DI. But that was not a great ledge trap in my opinion. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So this is a really dangerous back throw into C4 is really dangerous. Hold down. If you DI down, you'll usually miss the platform. The last thing you want to do is land on that platform with them. Oh, I think was that a suicide? No, I made it back. Oh, another cool thing. Snake cannot deal with this. A lot of times they'll like set up a bunch of grenades and like up smashes and a bunch of crazy things, and they'll stand there and try to down smash you or whatever. But you can just fly over all the grenades on the ground and time your up B to go past like his up smash. Snakes can't do anything about it. It's actually kind of crazy. Like snake ledge trapping is generally really, really hard to get around. But if you just jump back and then do the up B, they'll try to set up and they'll like run back. And if they run back to center stage, you just hold up B and just grab the ledge and then just do normal get up. Very, very effective.
I am a huge fan of let go of ledge, like jump, up, like charge up B and then re-grab ledge, or mix up going across the entire stage. Because they have to like hard call out which one you're going to do, right?
Yep. I think I lose this game. I can't remember. Yeah, playing super evasive. Against Snake, you definitely want to play neutral to not get hit. It is so much more important to not get hit than it is to hit Snake.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes I have trouble knowing like when what kind of openings I'm looking for, because it feels like he's just always setting up.
Honestly, the setup your opening is just getting him to like move around and then eventually side Bing him. Like I feel like that's my everything that I'm looking for my openings. That should have broke his shield 100%. That was so bad.
Wow.
I suicided there. That was really unfortunate. The idea was good. If I would have just done it a little further in stage, I would have got the kill. But ooh. Northern Cavern, pretty good. Snake really struggles on FD-like stages. And for the most part, air dodge here. Yeah, see, I'm trying to punish it. But that's exactly what you want. You want to force an air dodge to the ledge and then down air it. Yeah, any type of stage like FD, Town and City, Kalos, Northern Cavern, super amazing for us. Yep, and then I'm just hitting his body. Sometimes it's like worth the trade. Like if you can get stage control. Oh, that was a terrible banana toss. Yeah, banana toss on shield when he's got grenade. Like this should have been a side B like 9 out of 10 times. Snake also has a hard time dealing with down tilt strings. He can't really jump out of them, and if he pulls out a grenade, you just hit the grenade, or you don't hit the grenade, you just hit him. Air dodge. Oh no, called him out for not air dodging too. Yeah, see, like if your snakes ever recover this low, like it's super death sentence. Like he should have definitely just gone straight up and then pulled a grenade and tried to go like all the way around off the top, but he didn't. No, not my best punish. That's okay. I'll make up for it. Oh, very, very weird thing against Snake, too, is if you hit Snake and you know your next thing isn't like a combo, you can up B into him. Because the up B will hit him, detonate the grenade, which will hit both of you, and then detonate your jetpacks, which hit him. So it's like 40%, which is usually worth.
Yeah, one thing that I was wondering if was just like really good is just up being a ton against like these projectile characters.
Oh, there it was.
Like, you can like trade with the projectile and then like hit them with the barrels usually.
So it can definitely be.
The throws.
Yeah. It can definitely be good to like set a precedence of like, hey, I do have this insane burst option that does a ton of damage. Like, you have to respect me. And some characters like want to try to set up shop, and you can just up B into them for trying to set up shop. Kind of like Snake doing Nikita. They nerfed it really hard. It used to be way better at the beginning of the game because you would do way more shield damage with your projectiles. Like, you could definitely break Snake's shield if you hit it once and then he pulled out a grenade and you up beat into it. But they nerfed it since, so it's not as likely to break shields. So I would do it every once in a while just to set precedents of like, hey, I can do this. Never do it at kill percent though, because you'll just lose a stock like that.
Yeah. I think like the main two like percent ranges that I would want to do it is like, as long as I'm not gonna die to some like crazy like combo or just like straight up like a smash tag or something, is like if it'll do enough damage to get them to like some kill confirm percents, or if it'll just straight up kill them. That's like pretty much the only time. If they're like low percent, I feel like I'd rather go for something safer.
No, I think that's the right mentality.
Cool. I was playing against a Pac-Man recently, and
I'm sorry.
I think he's like not only is he like the only Pac-Man player in the state, he's not like PR level, so it's like before I played him, I was like, man, should I just play Wolf or should I just solo Diddy? But I'm just only gonna play Diddy until I actually need, like, and by actually need I mean like if I was like near PGR level.
I think that's also
I think Diddy's broken.
Diddy's really good, and he's really good in this meta too. So I think your choice is the correct one. It goes back to like making sure you don't thin yourself on resources too much. Like you definitely want to just focus on one thing. And
like Diddy's already complicated enough. Where, like,
yes,
if I
sir.
play multiple characters, like that's gonna be so much work.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna. You can go finish the set. It has some. The last game's really cool too. But let's talk about Rob a little bit before we have our time. Let's see. Do I have a good Rob set?
Yeah, I think my last time I played Rob, my main struggles were dealing with Nair and Gyro, and the conclusion that I've been sitting at and thinking about is that versus Nair, I could like up toss banana or just parry, and otherwise it doesn't feel like I can anti-air it with my other moves because it's just so disjointed.
So here's hey Navi. Navi are yeah, so let's talk about how to deal with Rob's Nair, because there's a couple of ways I like to approach it. One, yes, you could throw banana upwards. That definitely works because it goes right through Nair. What I like to do against Rob's Nair is either if it's too late for me to really do anything, I'm just going to parry it if I can. And if I can't parry it, then I'm going to shield it and then get out of the way. I'm just going to roll out and not deal with what's going on. That's the first way. Parrying it is like your biggest punish. The second way, which I do a lot, is I'm really aggressive with Robs in the air, because Nair starts in the back and it like flips over him so that, he's landing with it in front of him. But that windup is enormous. If I see a Rob jumping up in the air, I just jump up and fair him like immediately, or jump up and up air him. I'm so aggressive with Robs trying to do aerial setups in the air because you'll most likely hit them. Sometimes you trade, which isn't even that bad because it's your fair is going to do probably a little bit more than his nair, I think. And as long as you know to respect it when he's landing on top of you, which Z drop out of shield does still catch it.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can't parry it, then just disengage. Just shield it and look for whatever is coming up next. That's my main advice against nair. Gyro is interesting because we can get really crazy with gyro, and I don't mean picking it up and doing combos. First of all, you know that shield just instantly makes gyro disappear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's comes in handy every once in a while.
Yeah,
you just kind of give it.
I used that too much in my last set against Rob, like to the point where I was like in shield just so much, and I would just get like grabbed or like trapped.
Yeah, if you do it, just just run up to it and flash your shield on it. You don't. I don't recommend doing that too much because there's other things I'd rather do with it. How good are you at controlling barrels?
I'm getting there. I work on it once in a while.
Okay.
I would say I can I can if I'm going for it, I can do it like pretty fast.
Navi, since you're in the chat, do you know how much gyro does when it's just on the ground and you bump into it? Do you know how much damage that does? Because what I like to do against Rob, especially if I'm on the left side, is I will up B into the gyro and it will like tick me for like 2% or whatever, and it will launch barrels at Rob. And if you launch barrels at him and aim correctly and it hits his shield, one more up B will break his shield. Navi says it does 2%. Yeah, that sounds about right. And the crazy thing is you can just keep launching yourself into the same gyro and shoot a ton of up Bs, which is really funny. It's a really funny way to handle it. I wouldn't do it a ton, but I would I do if I launch and I hit Rob's shield with one up B. He's so enormous, like the chances of him not getting shield poked are really low. So that's one thing you can do. It's really kind of easy to pick up with your auto cancel down air. If you're going to try to pick it up, that's the best way to handle it. Otherwise, at the ledge, if he's setting up for it, remember that our get up attack is enormous and it beats gyro. Like if he's just gyroing at the ledge, you can just do a get up attack and your tail's going to cover like almost every setup. And the cool thing is if he gets wary and starts putting the gyro further back, it's no danger to you if you just do a normal get up at that point. Let's see, what else was I going to say about it? The ledge setups. Oh yeah, if you want, have you ever practiced doing a get up jump from the ledge and yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I use that.
Cool. So you already know about that, the get up attack, the up Bs, picking it up with auto cancel down there.
Yeah, I learned that for picking up banana when it's sitting at ledge, but I definitely need to use it against gyro.
Did you have any further questions about nair or gyro?
You can also run up to gyro and instant short hop forward air and back air and you'll catch it. Do you think that's like just straight up worse than going for auto cancel there, or?
It depends on how close the Rob is. Because if you throw out a fair or bear in neutral and he's got all of his options open to you, he's probably going to go catch your landing if it's a good Rob. But if you jump, he has to respect your fair all the way up into the point until you steal his gyro. But it's also really fast too. I think doing the short hop landing down air just picks it up super quick. So.
Gotcha. No, I think that was pretty good. What's a better situation? Or so before when I brought up the what I'm doing against shield when I'm using banana, and you mentioned it was a bad situation. I was wondering if there are any situations that link off of that situation that I should be going for instead, like that are like tangentially related. Because
Uh,
I feel like I have that situation a lot, or am I just like, am I just? I'm probably just throwing banana too eagerly,
yeah,
which
I
is
think
why they're shielding so frequently.
that's the root issue. I think instead of focusing on what they're doing after you throw a banana, I would say focus more on when you're deciding to throw a banana. Maybe you set a very specific goal to be, I think I mentioned this earlier, only throwing out banana when your opponent is in the lag of some type of move or when you're on top of them. Another follow-up could be is you could focus on looking for opportunities that you would throw banana and replacing it with side B. That could also be another thing. For you, I haven't been able to see you play, which I was kind of hoping we could do. Specific goal for yourself, change your tag, put it on your phone, record your VODs. Those are my 3 goals for you walking out of this is to
Absolutely. Don't worry, I've written down quite a few things.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, best of luck and have fun reading through those snake notes.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Take it easy.
Cool. Well, there goes another lesson. I have another lesson in about an hour, so I'm going to take a break. So I'm going to take a break from here. I might do more VOD review later tonight. I have so many videos to go through because I've been so lazy. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. I had a good time. And I hope you guys learned some too. Just like